Welcome back to the It Just Works podcast. My name is Cameron. I'm a director and founder of Clear Sky.
My name is Alfred, and I still can't commit to this. I don't know. I feel like it's too cringy. Like I'm whatever I want.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
And he's a creative.
and I'm a
folks.
creative.
He's a creative. folks.
creator. Am I
Yeah,
a
creative creator.
creative creator.
That's my little thing.
Tagline. Yeah,
That's my little tagline. If I ever come out with a little program or course, that's what I'm calling it.
Hell yeah.
You heard it here first. Yeah, Alfred. I mean, look, you're a creator. That's really what it is, and that's what you do on our team.
Exactly.
You create, you assist in creating, you help with a lot of the behind the scenes videos, you help with a lot of the mini vlog, on-set vlogs. That's your thing.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're just embracing it.
creator.
I'm a creator.
I'm a creator.
I just want to be, look, at the end of the day, right? We're just going to jump into it.
That's it.
Ready? At the end of the day, I've directed, so I'm a director. And ultimately, people are afraid to call themselves something because they're afraid that people are going to look at them and say, "You're not that person. You're not that guy." You know. But at the end, like I did the thing. I have directed a short film. I have directed multiple commercials, multiple branding videos, multiple interviews. So I can say with confidence that I'm a director. And even if I didn't do that, if I just did it once, I'm a director, you know? And because like that's what separates you from being a director or not a director is a mindset. Or you from being this or from that, it's just a mindset. And so if you're watching this or if you're listening to this and you're just, you're scared to call yourself a DP, you're scared to call yourself a writer, you're scared to call yourself a producer because you don't want to come off as a poser or anything like that. Just have the confidence in knowing like this is what you're going to do. If you really truly want to do it, this is what you're going to do. So you're just going to start calling yourself that because you already have done it. Now, if you've never done it, don't call yourself a director, but go out and direct something and then call yourself a director because that's who you are now.
Yeah, I would 100% totally agree.
Yeah.
Like everybody, a lot of people say like aspiring director or aspiring blah, blah, blah. Like, no, you need to call yourself, I am a videographer, I am a director, I am a writer. And then you think you have to put yourself in that mindset of like, okay, I am this. What do these people do? I go direct things because I'm a director, right?
Yep.
Then if you haven't done it, then it's like, okay, I'm a director. I need to go direct something to become a director, but you're already there, So it's just like this, again, wraparound mindset that you're talking about. That is just like, it's going to inherently benefit you before you even get started.
Well, also because no one wants to hire an aspiring director. They want to hire a director.
Very true. Very true, right?
So if you ever want to get paid doing the thing you want to do,
you
can't just be aspiring,
I 100% agree.
But at the same time, you can't just say you're a director if you've never directed anything.
Exactly.
Like, know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So we jumped right into it. But let's talk about some of the things that we're going to talk about in this podcast. The first thing, I think the biggest news that I've seen on social media is Adobe Max just dropped a ton of absolutely mind-blowing things.
Crazy.
But it follows a formula that I'm very skeptical of because we've seen this done time and time again with Adobe where they drop some new features and then you start questioning because you start trying to use them and it's not what the demo was doing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. So we're going to talk about that. We could also talk about the Dodgers Game 7 World Series.
Let's go.
Sports. Kind of not the thing on this podcast, but as an avid Dodgers fan myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, you've kind of grown into a Dodgers fan, I'm assuming.
I've always been a Dodgers fan, but I've just like you're way more baseball. Like I grew up in LA, so this is like you're a Dodgers fan, you're a Lakers fan. So it's like it's always been part of kind of my culture and like literally like Mexican culture. You're a Lakers or a Dodgers fan.
Yeah.
You live in LA, right? So yeah, that's the type of fan. I'm not like a baseball guy who loves the Dodgers, you know what I mean?
But I think the Dodgers winning the World Series has swept pop culture
100%.
significantly.
In many different ways, actually.
And we got to talk about it.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that as well. And then the last thing we're going to talk about, we're not going to go into like breaking news or things that are happening this week. We're just going to kind of talk about our experiences with content creation, video marketing, and try to help either businesses or creators break into the creator economy in today's day and age. That's what I would want to talk about, so I'm going to take the lead on that. Alfred's going to talk about a couple other things, but you're just going to have to wait and see.
Sick. Let's go.
Okay, what do you want to talk about first? The Adobe thing?
Yeah, we can talk about Adobe.
Sweet. So I did not watch the Adobe launch. I only saw just snippets on social media. So I kind of know what's going on. You said that you watched it though, right?
I watched portions of the launch and like different seminars and like just things coming out of is like a 3-day event. So like a bunch of creators were there. So yeah, just getting information of like, oh, this is what they're doing now, and then just reviewing it and kind of dissecting it a little bit more.
So the big drops that I saw, one was where you can take a picture of like two people and you could rotate them now.
Yeah,
It-
so it's like in Photoshop. So let's go back a little bit. Like you said, AI has been integrated heavily into Adobe, especially this iteration. Like literally every single version of their apps are gonna include AI. And to the point where like you're literally having a chatbot, like an assistant in your actual program now. So that's the next step that they're going for. So it's like,
Wow.
you know how you have a little chatbot on when you go to websites and stuff, like it's automations and it's just a little like helpful tool that you
Yeah.
could use. Imagine that in Premiere Pro. Imagine that in Photoshop, that you can just occasionally, like you would with ChatGPT. Like one thing I love about ChatGPT is that I can talk to it how I normally talk. Like it's going to understand me once I talk enough. It's like, okay, this is what they mean and gives me what I want, right? And imagine you can talk like that to this AI chatbot in Premiere Pro, in all these Adobe. So
That's
Adobe.
epic if it works.
Yes, exactly. So again, it's always these kind of beta tests. It's always these events where they release all this stuff, which is they released a lot this time around at Adobe Max. So pretty excited if this is true. Like it's very exciting. But like you said, in Adobe fashion, usually in use cases, doesn't necessarily work out that way.
Yeah, so one of them is like you see a photo of these two people, and AI will analyze that photo and develop like the backside of them, and you could rotate them to have them face a separate way, which is like hilarious because I saw a comment saying like clients thought this existed like years ago. You know, like, oh, could we just Photoshop them to face the other way?
Yeah, it's like,
you know,
what? What is
but now it's actually possible,
Yeah.
which kind of is a very interesting talking point now with all these new AI developments and all these new like AI advancements, especially in post-production stuff. It's like we're going to run into a time and an age where clients are going to think literally anything is possible. And it's really not even our faults that like I would love if everything was possible, but they're going to watch these events. Clients are going to watch these events that Adobe's putting on and think to themselves like, "Oh, I saw this guy do it in a demo. Can we have you do this in post-production with our team, with your team?" And it's going to be like, "Well, yeah, he freaking did that in the demo, but like, did you see the thing where they stemmed out the audio? Did you
Yeah,
see that
I
one?"
did see that. That was huge. That like if that is real, that is insanely huge.
Yeah, there's like a
in Premiere Pro.
just to like give context, like they did in Premiere Pro a test where someone was doing an interview and then there was a big loud horn like in the middle of him talking.
Yeah.
And Adobe was able to use AI and intelligently stem out all the different sounds from that audio clip, and you can literally mute the horn now. Which, I mean, bro, it just gives me flashbacks of when they released the Adobe podcast thing, where they were like enhanced sound, and it's like it took out all the bad stuff, and it was just like crystal clear podcast audio. And it's like you don't need podcast mics anymore. That never freaking works for me, like ever. Like it kind of works. Like I used it once, but I could still tell, you know.
Gets a little like whiny and like high pitched at certain points. And it's, like-
Exactly.
and then it'll like morph words into like different things. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't even know what they said right there.
Yeah, because like the word trailed off, so it's like
Yeah.
not a full complete English word.
Exactly.
It's kind of like you
Yeah.
know, it's like a melted word at the end. That's what I think is going to happen here. I just can't see a reality in which we are filming something and there's a loud horn and it's like, hey, do we have to film that again? And then I'm going to be like, I think we should. And then somebody's going to chip in and say, do you use Premiere? I think you could take it out with the stemming option in Premiere now. They just released that. And then it not work. And now we're freaking screwed because we didn't go back at it again.
Yeah.
So I'm getting all fired up for literally no reason. However, I just see that being a possibility.
100%.
Yeah.
Like again, anything that anybody releases that is coming out of Adobe or Premiere, it's like these are all things in their beta right? They're all things that are being tested, and
Oh, it's still in beta?
yeah, it's still in beta. Like a lot of this stuff is still in beta. It's not integrated into Premiere Pro 2025 quite yet. So again, back and forth. You can go back and forth because I tried beta of like Premiere Pro beta, and there's certain things where it's like, great, this is super useful, but it negates some things that you've already set up in your original Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
And we kind of did this last year too.
Yeah, we did.
So it
With
was like
the scene extend,
yes,
right?
the scene extend, and
Which
then
never worked.
never worked. And then remember last year World Series, we tried to make that edit, and like Premiere Pro was only opening the beta and it wasn't opening the original Premiere Pro 2024.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it was like nothing is set up or optimized for your workflow. So everything's just like, I need to figure out where everything's at. And we were just like, so bad. It was so hard.
Yeah. For
but
context, we were trying to do a little Freddie Freeman MVP edit last year.
Exactly.
This year, not freaking possible because Game 7 of the World Series, I was at a bar with a bunch of Dodger fans, and we were all screaming our heads off. I almost had like 4 heart attacks.
love that.
It was insane. And I saw your video reacting
Hilarious.
to it. Yeah, like it's just crazy to me because like I just think I'm reacting big because I'm a Dodger fan, but just like unbiased, like that was just an exhilarating game for anyone to watch.
Great game.
Yeah.
Great game.
Yeah. What do you think about baseball in the future when it comes to like relevancy after this game?
Like you said, I think it like captured the world, by storm. And again, we live in California, so it's like very real and very relevant to us. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily the same for the same people in Europe or whatever, But again, 2 teams that are like, again, international now. It's not just in the United States. You have players who are from around the world. Shohei Ohtani's on the Dodgers. He's like the main guy. Yamamoto was the MVP. Like you're going like international with just your reach.
Yeah.
And again, since Shohei's and Yamamoto have been on the Dodgers, I've been to Japan and their faces are everywhere.
Oh yeah, I
like,
believe it.
100%. So it's just like this is like capturing the audience of not just the U.S. anymore. It's like American baseball is so relevant across the world to the point where it's like this just leads to bigger questions like more funding. Where else are we going? Are there going to be more international games now? So
we're going to see more baseball movies.
More baseball movies, like just off of these type of things that are happening. So
think about it, because like if it's huge in Asia, that's the number 1 export for Hollywood is China and Asia. Do you think there's going to be more baseball movies made?
I would say so.
I think so.
I would say so, 100%. Like, do I think they're making a Shohei Ohtani movie or a freaking I'm sorry.
Or like Space Jam.
Exactly.
But for baseball.
Yeah, like
and
are they going to
Shohei.
have these stars like in these movies? And it's like 100%,
Who would be let's I want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
Before we dive into the fake Space Jam baseball movie. The Game 7 of the World Series had more viewers, 50,000 more live viewers than the Super Bowl last year. That's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, I mean, it was probably numbers like at the end of it. But, if you weren't watching the game to start the night, you're probably not watching the game at the end either.
True.
So that was before we knew it would be one of the best baseball games we would ever see played, like ever. Like one of the most thrilling games with everything on the line in Game 7. They were getting more numbers. And then it became the best game we've ever seen play. And not only did it become the best game we've ever seen play, the team that won had the best baseball player to ever play the sport ever. The most dominant starting pitching performance ever seen in a World Series. And it had debatably one of the best and most dominant closers in the postseason. And where did all 3 of these people come from? Japan, bro. Isn't that wild?
Insane.
We're turning into Japan is the baseball capital of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's hilarious is that we have an option to re-sign Max Muncy next year, right? And we have an option to sign the next Japanese third baseman.
Yikes.
What do you think we're going to try to do?
Yikes.
I know. We might be going for that third baseman in Japan. We're just gonna turn
Big-
into Team Japan.
Big
Dodgers.
conversation.
Yeah.
Big conversation.
But anyways, let's talk about a Space Jams. But what are we calling it first off?
I have no clue.
Come on. Space Bats.
Space Bats, imagine. I don't even know.
Okay. Who's starring in it? What baseball player? Oh, you don't really know baseball that well.
Not
So
like players and stuff.
okay. Yeah, this might not be that fun.
Nah, sorry. I don't think I can contribute to this.
I don't think Otani is a star, but he's definitely a cameo.
Oh, 100%.
100% a cameo. I'm like trying to think like who's the LeBron James of like baseball. I would
Out
say
of any
Mike,
team or just the Dodgers?
just like any team. Like I would say Mike Trout, but Mike Trout's like not really
Personable.
not well. He's a nice guy. He's just
Yeah.
not like Hollywood. You
Yeah,
know what
exactly.
I mean? And then I would say like maybe the next best guy would be like someone who's like into the outside of baseball, like pop culture. Would be like Trevor Bauer, but he's not even playing, and he's got a bunch of controversy.
Mookie
Alex
Betts?
Bregman tried. Ooh, Mookie Betts.
I think he's
You
pretty
freaking
funny. Like
nailed
off
it,
the
dude.
field.
Oh yeah, he's definitely the star of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the
He'd be
star of
great.
the movie, right? And
Apparently,
then
he's like really into Star Wars.
he is
I think so.
really.
Like I saw an interview where they were asking him like, "Oh, we heard you're into Star Wars, and so can you name these characters?" And he was like, "Nope, don't know who that is," and he just like did not play along with it.
Low key, he's just dressing up as like Obi-Wan Kenobi every
That'd be
night.
hilarious. Insane.
I could just see him in his bedroom, just like
With a
putting on
robe.
his like his Jedi robe and like.
Yeah.
And then his wife being like, "Mookie, come down, time for dinner. Give me 5 minutes."
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Oh,
It's a
man.
hilarious skit.
Ah, dude. What a baller. He did not do great this World Series, but he did make the game-ending double play,
For real.
and he's just a great guy, dude.
Mhm.
He's a really good guy.
Mhm.
I can't wait to see what his career is going to be like after the MLB.
Mhm.
I don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to be, like the next Jeter, A-Rod, Big Papi, where he's doing the post-game shows? Because he's already got the podcast, so
Yeah.
he's kind of getting that experience down. Or is he just going to be a professional bowler? Because
Yeah,
he literally is a professional bowler.
insane.
He could just be that, just like an old man, just
having
knocking
fun.
out pins. Why not?
He could do whatever.
The
he
best
wants.
bowlers are like 60.
Yeah, for real.
Anyways, the parade's going on today, Monday.
Yeah.
I'm missing it, but because I have to go make money.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
No, my brother and my sister-in-law went last year, and they said it was like horrible.
it was a zoo, I bet.
Yeah, he said like
You're just
it
there
took
for the
him-
entire day.
Yeah, it took him 2 hours just to like go a mile. Like by the time you get there, it's like you can't even get to the front. And then when the parade comes, it's literally just one bus and a few cars, and they
Yeah.
just drive by, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's like cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If anything, I would go to the stadium.
Yeah, exactly. That seems like yeah, go spend the day there. Have some fun. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
But I don't know. It's too much logistics for me.
I already don't like going to LA. So.
Yeah, it's kind of rough. But yeah, dude, super happy about that. Back-to-back champs,
Insane.
and we're not slowing down.
Great game.
Great game. I think baseball. What I personally want, like one of my life goals, is to make a baseball film. And I actually, I'm a little nervous to say it on camera and to put it out in the world because I don't want anyone else to make this because I really want to make this.
Yeah.
But I would love to make a Lost in Translation baseball film. You ever seen Lost in Translation?
I
No?
think you told me about this last week.
Did I really?
Yeah.
On the podcast?
I think so.
No shot.
Or,
I talked about Lost in Translation. No, I didn't talk about Lost in Translation.
or maybe it was a different movie.
It must have been. Lost in Translation is with Scarlett Johansson and Bill Murray, and they both go to Japan. Bill Murray's like a failed actor, and he's trying to make some side cash by being the tall old white guy in all the commercials.
And then Scarlett Johansson's like his girlfriend. Like wife
No,
thing?
Scarlett Johansson's like a photographer's girlfriend,
Oh.
and the photographer's there for work, and so she's just like bored. She doesn't know what to do.
Oh, I get you.
She's just like hanging out in the hotel and like whatever. But they're both miserable.
Oh, okay.
And so, if you've ever been to Japan, which you have, there's like 3 white people. Or
Literally.
not just white people. There's 3 non-Japanese people
Yeah.
that you'll run into.
Me and my friends are all 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's like they're just at this hotel,
Yeah.
and they're just like, gosh, I can't really talk to anybody because no one speaks English. I can't really do anything. And then they find each other and they kind of develop like a friendship.
Gotcha.
And help
Sounds like
each other.
a good movie.
It's a good movie, right?
Yeah, it sounds like great. I love both those actors. So.
Now think about that concept, but a baseball player who failed in America and goes to, I was thinking Korea. They kind of made like an American going to Japan called Major League, I think. No, not Major League. Mr. Baseball. And it was more of like a slapstick comedy, and it's actually a pretty good film. But this one would be more about just like a guy who just like was in his prime,
Kind of lost.
Yeah, he had like a really good front half of his career, and then you just had 2 to 3 bad seasons. Maybe in his 30s, he goes overseas, and it's just like, I need to get my career back on track. But then I was thinking like it could be like he meets like his translators, like a woman or something. I'm sure this probably doesn't exist because like you're probably only paired with male translators.
Yeah.
Or maybe like someone in the organization is a woman that he kind of falls in love with.
Yeah.
But I was thinking like we can make it so like this girl like is married already or dating someone else, and it's like this.
There's conflict. There's this push and pull.
And then he has a good season, and he's like, "Oh, I could go play in America again. Leave your husband, come with me."
Yeah. Ooh.
And then there's just like I can't, and then he's like,
Sounds like a good story. Yeah.
Doesn't it? There's something there.
Yeah, 100%.
Like something there.
Like, have you seen those? Kind of reminds me of this film that's coming out with I think it's Brendan Fraser, where he like goes to Japan because I think it's something similar to like the actor thing.
Dang it! Oh, it's like
to the
Bill.
actor thing,
Okay.
where he's like he was an actor, didn't really make it, and then goes to Japan. He gets an offer to be like this person to just like console or like just be somebody for people, because they do that a lot, right? Like you can technically pay to have a girlfriend spend the day with you in Japan, right? That's a real thing.
Yikes!
That
like
kind
an
of
escort.
Kind of, but they just spend the day with you. Like nothing happens, but it's like they just kind of their presence and that look. Like the like a joke is, oh, I need a date for this wedding I'm going to, but I'm not dating anybody, so I'll just pay somebody to come as my girlfriend to the wedding to show face, and then you know what I mean.
So he's like the male version of that.
Kind of, but he's like lost. He doesn't know what to do. Blah blah blah. So he goes to Japan, takes his job. He's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and he's just like. It's supposed to be like, oh, you're just like the token white guy, but then he learns to like build relationships and like the meaning of spending time and build like he goes with like he's a father figure to this young girl, or he's like this companion to this older gentleman, and then he just builds relationships from there. But it's just funny because like the ads, I saw this like months ago, like when there was no actual ad like trailers or anything out, and it was just Brendan Fraser on this. Like in a toothpaste costume, like on this poster on an Instagram out. I'm just like, and it was like on an Instagram page. You know how films like make their own pages now? Yeah. And it was just there, and I just saw this the beginning of it. I mean, it was just no context. It was just like a company posting their stuff, and I'm just like, is that Brendan Fraser? Like, what is this? This has to be a movie, right? Yeah. And then like it slowly comes out. And it's like, ah. But yeah, very similar kind of vibe where he goes kind of lost and then gains something from it,
Interesting. I want to look into that.
Yeah.
I think it's a good segue though.
Yeah.
Into how do you market your brand, right? And this is kind of like we could talk about like, this filmmaking marketing technique that we're seeing these days. But then something I really want to talk about, and I think it's really important, and I think a lot of business owners need to hear this, is if you want to market on social media, you have to show and you can't tell. Like show, don't tell. Totally botched that because that was going to be the intro to the shorts clip, and I just freaking messed it up. But whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
We'll get Jason to edit it out around.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah. Show, don't tell. A lot of people want to go on Instagram and they want to just talk about why you should come to them, and talking to somebody you've never seen before, you don't know, you forget that this person also have never seen you before and don't know who you are, right? So like the best way to gain trust is by showing somebody why what you're saying is valid or true or trustworthy. And um, it's just like a shame when people, I see Instagram pages from businesses and it's all just graphics saying, we do the best cleaning, you know, or come by and get the best cleaning of your life, or read this great review from this real customer. And all that's like awesome, but like if that's all you're doing, like no one's, it's just might as well just be freaking, you know, taking these graphics and crumbling it up and throwing it in the trash can because it's not doing anything for you. Um, it wasn't until like we showed on Good Stuff's content because I've been managing Good Stuff's social media page for like 2 years now, and they're just like a great testament to this. It wasn't until we started showing them what what Good Stuff meant when they said like this is like a place for families and this is like a family owned and operated business. It wasn't until we started showing them that people started like really starting to buy into it, and people really starting to come in and be like, you know, like I just wanted a great place to take my family this weekend, and I saw this ad on or this video from Good Stuff. Um, you know, a great example of show don't tell, I think, outside of social media is reviews, because uh, you're not actually telling people like this is why we're great. You're showing them other people talking about the business and why it's great, right? And every business owner can recognize that great reviews and great referrals are like a really good way of marketing your business. But it doesn't have to stop there, because you could literally do the exact same thing and the exact same effectiveness on social media with your Instagram posts, TikTok posts, YouTube posts, whatever, by just showing why whatever you're saying is true and getting people to buy into that by showing it very effectively. Um, but yeah, that's just my little soapbox. What do you think about that?
It makes sense. I mean, you like comparing it to like the film industry and stuff like that. Like there's a reason why we have portfolios. Like there's a reason why you need a show reel or do spec work and then you go get the job that you want. You know, that it makes sense. Like, hey, this is what I provide. This is what I do. This is what I excel at. Makes sense that you would like, let me present that to you. How do you like it? You like it. We're on the same page. Cool. Let's go. You know?
Yeah.
So it's the same vein, you know, you're showing them that this is what we are. This is the environment. And when it comes to obviously personal brands and restaurants and stuff like that, like brick and mortar is a little different, just tactic wise. You're not just showing content. Like you need to show the vibe, you know, you need to show different things other than just subjective work. But it's very similar. And I think a lot of different avenues of business are very similar in that same sense, you know, of show don't tell, and you need to just kind of provide information and let that be the thing that's let the consumer decide whether they want to come to you or not, you know?
Yeah.
So I totally agree.
It's the number one reason, and it's like, how can I phrase this best? It's the number one mistake that a business owner can make. That's so simple to fix, but so hard to recognize.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not easy to know, like, if I want to promote my business, I can't just tell someone to come in. Like, that's what you do when you meet somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
You say, hey, my name's Cameron, and, you know, I own this business, and we help blah, 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 XYZ. But, like, that's different because, like, you can actually see the person in front of you. There's a level of trust just inherently given, right? But I was thinking about it the other day. Like, I'd love to make a commercial for Clear Sky, and maybe you could help me out with this, where it's just literally it's just two people at a dinner table, right? A girl is sitting across the way, and a guy is coming up and sitting down in front of the girl, and there's a button on the table, right? And the guy sits down, and he's like, hey, Cameron, nice to meet you. You want to come home with me? And she's like, what? And then I'm like, dang it. And then I press the button, and I disappear, and I come and sit down again. And I'm like, hey, Cameron, nice to meet you. Wow, like, you look great, but not great enough. Let me help you fix that. And she's like, what? And then I'm like, dang it, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like just doing all these like marketing
Just
tactics that
iterations.
just like don't work, but like in a dating environment, you know?
That's
And
hilarious.
then like after a few like failed attempts, you finally see what the button is, and it's just like marketing dollars. And then the ad is like, stop wasting marketing dollars on ads that don't work, or stop wasting marketing dollars on strategy that doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know?
That's hilarious.
What do you think?
That's a great idea.
It's pretty funny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like maybe the last one is like, hey, my name is Cameron. Nice to meet you. Wow, you have pretty eyes. And she's like, oh my gosh, thank you. And I'm like, so when are you coming over to my house? She's like, oh. And I'm like, dang it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's like
It's very like
you would
old-
never
old
expect this to
TV,
work.
like, commercial, you know?
Huh?
It's like very old TV commercial.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
Like, you know, that
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I think we could do it at Good Stuff
100%.
at night when it's empty. We can set it up. One girl, one guy, 2 camera sets up. Just a simple lighting setup, 2 hours.
Totally be down. That'd be fun.
Maybe we could like maybe we can piggyback off a Good Stuff shoot. So like the next Good Stuff shoot we do, we will wrap at like 4, and then we'll just head down to. I think we do it at Good Stuff Redondo because they're closed for dinner now.
Oh.
And we could just like set up the patio, bring some lighting.
Yeah. Just
I could
make it
get
look pretty.
Yeah, we could get like an actress to be the girl, and then I could be the guy, or maybe get an actor. I don't know.
That'd be hilarious.
Perfect. It's a plan.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but anyways, totally just sort of like, if anyone's watching this all the way through, we're giving you all the secrets. You're getting all the goodies right now.
Love it.
But I think that's a great. Okay, so like where I'm going with this is like that's a great example of showing somebody why telling or why hard sales in marketing just doesn't work. You know. So, anyways, in a way that they can understand, that's outside of the scope of business and marketing, and something that everyone's heard before a million times on their social media feeds. But yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of like something I really wanted to get out there and talk about.
Yeah, even with social media itself, like transitioning a little bit, but like talking about like social media strategy and seeing like trying to understand social media is so not, I wouldn't say like insanely complicated, but it's self-iterating so often, you know. And I could see how like most business owners and most people just in general, or even smaller creators or people who want to grow a presence, it can be difficult because again, like you don't know where to go, you don't know where to start. Should you focus on reels? Should you focus on posts? Should you do carousels, your stories? What should my feed look like? What should I do X, Y, and Z? You know, and it's very overwhelming. And again, for business owners in particular, they already have so much on their plate where it's like they physically probably can't literally take that bandwidth and give it to social media because it's like, again, no return. There's no theoretical like payback, most definitely. Like you're sacrificing for the unknown. And I like attribute that, and like I agree with, hey, sometimes you need to sacrifice something in the unknown. But at the end of the day, it's like you're still learning, you're still reiterating yourself. So again, if business owners are able to take on that burden and really like trust that process of, hey, we're going to sacrifice for the known, but we're going to get information back so that we can continue doing this and self-iterating. We're going to get better. It's not just spend money and then hope it works, right?
Well, it's a fear-based thing.
Exactly.
You know, most business owners don't do social media because they're afraid of a multitude of things. First, they're afraid to mess up their brand image, right? Because if they don't know what they're doing on social media, they don't want to say the wrong thing. They don't want to put out a post that is misleading of their brand. Because most business owners, at least small business owners, they have like literally no idea how to explain their brand to somebody else, which is like silly to me or to anyone else to think about, but it's true, and it makes more sense the more you think about it. Because when you start your business, you're just focused on like what you do well, and that's why people come back. It's because I do this thing and I do it well, right? But as you level up and as you start thinking about trying to get more clients, and once it stops becoming you doing the business and it's other people, it's a team of people under you, like you can't sell you anymore. because like your brand image is just your own personal image. So once you kind of level up from that, you need to like start selling sort of like, how does your company differentiate itself from everybody else?
Yeah.
Like, what is your company doing? What's your brand voice? What are your core values? What's your mission? What's your vision? What's your ideal target demographic? What are the people? Who are the people that you're actually trying to get? Because you have historical data that suggests that these types of people are going to be your best clients. They're going to be your best customers, and they're the most prone or the most in need for the services that you provide. And like that might have just been a bunch of gibberish for half of business owners right there. But if you don't know those things, then you're never going to feel confident about promoting on social media. You're never going to feel confident about pushing out content. You're never going to feel confident about putting out ads, awareness ads. Like nothing is ever going to solve that fear that's keeping you back from growing your business 10x, 20x, 30x. Every single business coach that I watch online, like Alex Hermosi, he talks about this a lot. They always say that like businesses very highly underestimate how much market share there is for them, like how big the market truly is. Like they think like, oh man, it's just really slow, so it must be because no one's buying. Not true. Every single restaurant right now is suffering except for good stuff. I hear from so many. I have like a little bit closer to
Like,
this than
yeah,
anyone else
exactly.
because my dad owns good stuff. But he's telling me like everyone else is talking about how rough their summer was this year because of the economy or because of X or Y or Z, whatever. But good stuff had the best summer of their entire life, and it wasn't because of these external factors. Maybe they played a little role in why it was slow for most people, but the reason why is because they were in control of the narrative. They have a clear brand voice, they have clear values, they have a clear messaging platform, and they have clear way of expressing that messaging. And they know exactly who they're going for. We're going for families who want breakfast and lunch and want a nice place to take their kids to dinner and PV. And literally, if you want to go to good stuff, you're going to expect something for everyone, gluten-free options, vegan options, and a place where you don't have to feel like your kids are going to be like disturbing the high-end guests. Like they can like run around in the outside parts, or they can just like, mess up the table and leave it trashed, and our busboys are going to come and clean it up. Like that's the target. And so our content, all of our content is literally just playing into that audience to get them to think, if I'm hungry, oh, we should go to good stuff because I really want to try this thing.
Yeah.
Or I really want to, I just want to take it easy, have fun, have a good time, support a local business. So, anyways, that's just like a whole bunch of just information spewing for business owners. It starts there. It starts with truly knowing who your company is or what your company is, and then it goes to understanding your metrics and risk assessment. And the big companies, like if you're fearing promoting on social media, it's because you're afraid that you're going to spend all this money marketing and nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? But like you look at like companies like Nike, Adidas, even freaking McDonald's, across every industry, you could find one company that spends $1 billion on marketing a year. And they wouldn't be spending $1 billion on marketing a year if it didn't work.
Yeah.
And a lot of that marketing budget has no return on investment.
Yeah.
No qualified return on investment. It's literally just like, I just want my product to be out there.
Exactly.
Nike's like the biggest culprit. They have, I think, like $100 million or plus bucks just to like, hey, I just want my logo to live here.
Literally.
Yeah, they're not tracking any ROI or KPI or anything like that. And that's not what I was saying. I'm not saying business owners should just be doing that because that's not the smartest way to do it. But there is a way to track KPIs, especially with social media. You could use social media as a way to see if people are looking up your website more often. We've been posting on social media every single day for the last month, and our website has seen a 30% increase in traffic. And even though maybe you're not getting a lot of clicks on the link in bio, people are like watching social media videos, and then they're like, I want to look up this brand a little bit more, going on Safari or whatever, Chrome, and typing in the name of the brand and then clicking on the website.
Mm-hmm.
There's ways to track.
Yeah.
Another way to track is if you're actually running ad campaigns, right? You can think about all the way up to a close, all the different steps that is required to get to that close. Like I heard this guy. His name's Adam. He was speaking at one of the he's speaking at one of the conferences that we were working for one of our clients, and he helps with business development. And he was just doing for med spas a like simple breakdown. Your average lifetime client is $5,000, right? For every consult you get, you convert one, or 50% of them, right? So for 2 consults, you're getting 1 client, and their average lifetime value is $5,000, which means each consult now has a value associated to it, $2,500 each, right? For each consult, it requires, I think he said 6 phone calls for 1 consult, right? Which means each of those 6 phone calls is worth $800. And maybe my math's off, but I remember it was something like that where he said,
just breaking it down.
Yeah, he's breaking it down, and he said something like, if you knew that every time you pick up the phone, you would be getting $800 into your bank account, how often would you be doing that? Because if you had 6 phone calls, one of them turning into a consult. And that's either from your existing list or from your new list of leads. And it was like, he's like, if there's $800 strapped to the phone and you the only way that you can get it is by picking it up and making a phone call, like, are you going to be too busy to make phone calls?
Mm-hmm.
You know, is your schedule that busy that you can't take 5 minutes out of your day to make a phone call to an existing client or a new potential client for $800? You know, so that was like, I was like, whoa, a lot of people need to hear that.
Yeah, I bet.
And then you come down further, right? And it's like, if you get, let's say you get for every 1,000 views on a social media post. He wasn't using social media posts. He was talking about Google ads and stuff like that. But let's just talk about social media, right? For every 1,000 views, you get 1 person to click on the website. And for every 100 clicks on the website, you get 1 form submission. That would make it, all you'd have to do is get, what is that, 100,000 views to get a form submission. That's, you got to be posting a lot to get that, right? And it's not that high effort, the kinds of posts that you need to be doing.
Yeah.
Right? I think those KPIs could be lower, though, if you're running targeted ad campaigns. Like, for instance, I just started running targeted ad campaigns. Literally just an ad that said, this is what we did for Good Stuff. If you got, we got 3,600 impressions in a year increase. Oh, no, sorry. 3,600% increase in impressions for Good Stuff in the last year.
Yeah.
And the only tagline that I said was like, if you got 3,600+% impression increase, how would that change your business? Right? And I think I've gotten like 20 new leads, follows. They followed me and they all own businesses. And I've had, I think, 6 new conversations and already 1 conversion. And I've only spent like, I think like $500 on that ad campaign.
Nice.
And that 1 conversion paid for the ads.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm building KPIs now. Like I never had to do that in the past, but now I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm building KPIs now. And all you have to do as a business owner is just like know that first thing, know what your audience wants, know your brand voice, know how you're differentiated, right? And then implement it in marketing strategies and build KPI goals. And then just work on making those smaller and smaller. Like hopefully I would love to get 1 conversion on a $300 ad spend, 1 conversion on a $200 ad spend, 1 conversion on a $100 ad spend. The fact of the matter is my following is crap on Instagram right now because it's a brand new page. And I just started doing it, you know? So that number is going to start crawling down the more I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like people are afraid because they're afraid because they don't want to hear the horror story that they spent $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 and they didn't get a single thing from it.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
Mhm.
It's hard.
It's
Anyways,
complicated. Like I said, it's always just very complex in most people's brain of like how to set this up, what I need to be looking for, and there's no real guidance there. And I think that's why, again, business owners don't want to try to waste their time with that when it isn't a waste of time at the end of the day. And then on top of that, like going into social media, like the barrier to entry there is so low. Like you don't have to pay to make social media accounts. You can film with your phone, all these other things. Like you just need to have focus.
Yeah.
Right? You do need to narrow down what you're actually speaking to and what you're doing and what your message is as a business. And from there, that's going to not only benefit your marketing, but that also benefits just you as a business owner, because now you make decisions in your business with this focused outlook. And from there, you can decide, okay, does this support what I'm trying to do? Yes or no? And then you can start to remove different things out of your business that isn't really supporting your mission, you know?
That's true.
So I think, again, the barrier to entry to social media is so low. And I think having a focus is not only going to affect your marketing, but it's also going to affect every other avenue of your business as well.
Takes a lot of time if you're doing it yourself too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking like 3 to 4 hours a day. You should be focusing on this.
Yeah.
If you want to see true like improvement in results, if you're doing it by yourself. But I think the reason why, to your point, low barrier of entry, the reason why it's so hard is because since it's a low barrier of entry, there are so many people you're fighting against for someone's attention. Everybody else on the internet wants whoever's scrolling for their video to be popped up in front of them and for them to give their attention to that person.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like the Wild West back in the day when Meta ads and Facebook ads were just like unbelievably crushing.
Yeah.
Because we were just like trying to figure out the platform. Like we're all old dogs. We're all old dogs. We've seen every trick in the book, you know? So it requires even a more intense focus because you're really not going to grow unless you can figure this out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's proven. Everybody, like I said before, every industry has somebody who has figured this out, and then they double down, triple down, quadruple down, and now they're doing really, really well. And most likely taking business from you. The only angle most small business owners have really is that they're just local.
Yeah.
Because it's like, do you want to support a local business or do you want to support a big corporation? But, I mean, unless you want to just keep that as your angle, there's a lot of downside too. Is like, if I support local business, I'm supporting, you know, something that's probably more expensive. And if it's just one person, like there's a possibility that person is going to get too busy or is going to get sick or have a life event, and my thing's going to be, you know, second choice. There's a lot of risk with it, so you need to find a good avenue to compete with the big dogs and with the small dogs. And I think social media marketing is inevitable for every single business.
Yeah, as a business owner, even though the social media game is hard, the worst answer is to not play.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much.
Simple as that.
I mean, there's this hierarchy, right? There's a hierarchy of growing your business. The first thing that you absolutely need is leads. You know, you can't focus on figuring out whether, you know, your product is going to be great or your service is going to be great. I mean, most people, like, they'll rely on referrals for leads, and then they perfect that product or service. But if you don't have enough leads to grow, then you can't just like work on the product or service being ready for like 3x, 4x more clients if you don't have the actual clients yet, right? So the first issue is always leads. And the thing that solves leads, at least for most small businesses, are just targeting people who are in immediate need. And the people who are in immediate need are the ones who are on Google searching for help for their problem, right? So most people should be working on their reputation management, their Google My Business, their organic SEO, their website landing pages, and maybe even some Google PPC campaigns, which is all stuff we do at Clear Sky. I just don't promote that because I think that video marketing is like way more effective when it comes to actually growing your business. But before you could actually grow your business, you need leads. right? And that's where it starts. Um, and then once you get leads, you need to convert those leads. Um, and most people don't have a problem with sales.
Yeah.
Like usually, the businesses that survive with no marketing is because they're really good at sales. Because every single referral they get, they convert. You know, so that's not the issue. What the issue is if you're getting a bunch of leads, and you know they're probably a great fit, but they're not going to make it to the sales call because there's a problem with your trust generation,
Mm-hmm.
or there's a problem with the way that you're selling them, or there's a problem with the way that you're presented, or maybe all your advantages are not just like too good to be true, or maybe they seem too good to be true and you need to be a little bit more honest and you need to be more forthcoming. Like there's like this sort of like magic recipe that you need to do to nurture these leads into getting as many sales calls as possible.
Yeah.
And after you get the leads figured out, that's when like we can really start playing.
Mm-hmm.
We can really start playing with social media marketing, with video marketing, with messaging, with copywriting, all of those things. Because that is when you're gonna really start making some freaking money.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start getting those leads down for how much they would cost you to convert into sales,
Yeah.
now it's like you're printing money.
Yeah.
If you spend 10 grand on marketing and you get 50 grand on sales, 100 grand on sales, it's like, why not spend another 50 grand on marketing
Yeah.
if you're just turning it over,
Yeah.
you know? So that's kind of like where, that's kind of the evolution of a business owner going from like, I'm doing absolutely nothing to I need to start doing something.
Yeah.
Um, and honestly, like when you start getting leads, you should already be doing social media to build that nurturing. But I think you need to solve that problem first before you start hiring a person or a team like us to start figuring out like how to make those leads cheaper
Yeah.
with brand awareness ads or brand awareness videos, local buzz, things like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's sort of like my little soapbox
Yeah.
of how I see business owners going into 2026 and
Yeah.
how they're going to win,
Exactly.
how they're going to succeed. I feel like I just really needed like a platform to say that on, so I'm happy we did it on the
Love
podcast.
it. Love it.
What do you think about all that?
That was a lot.
Yeah, it was,
That
huh?
was a lot. But it makes sense, right? It all kind of makes sense. Again, I'm not a business owner. I mean, other than I guess myself.
Yeah,
but
you're a business owner. You're a creator, bro.
okay, I guess
That's
so.
a business owner.
But it makes sense. You know, it feels like social media, time and time again, has like a lifespan now and has proven itself to be where you need to shift your focus. Like it's here to stay. Like you can't just write off social media anymore. Like, and in fact, if you do that, you are kind of just damning yourself until whatever happens. You know, you're just leaving that up to everybody else to hopefully my business will continue or not. You know, so by accepting and acknowledging social media and inherently just actively pursuing it, I think is like your like business owners taking control of their own timeline of their own business, you know, itself. Because at the end of the day, like if you're not doing social media as a business owner, then there's no way that you're going to continue living in this world where everything is connected. You know, if you are not connected within that sphere, then there's no way nobody can know about you. There's no way that anybody can really like tap into who you are and what you do and what your expertise is. And at that point, you're just refusing to play the game, like I said, and like you're just not going to continue doing that at a larger scale at the rate of what the economy is, at everything else is happening in the world. Like people need guarantees, people need things to trust, people need things to actually do what they're supposed to, and if they aren't sure that you're going to do that because you haven't proven it to them, then they're not going to continue with you.
Yeah.
You know?
What's wild is like as you were saying that, like I feel like I thought of something. If somebody's watching this and they're a B2B owner, you know, they're probably like, oh, this doesn't apply to me. Like this has no, this has no use case to me. I'm like, you couldn't be more wrong.
Same concepts.
Same concepts.
Same concepts.
Because the people who are coming into B2B, they're not focused on old school marketing. They're not focused on just like relationship building, networking. Like that's still a big part. Don't get me wrong. But they spend most of their time on social media. Like just the other day, I was watching a CEO like scrolling LinkedIn, like for fun.
Yeah.
Like not he wasn't like, oh, I have to do a couple LinkedIn hours, you know. He was just like, I wonder what's going on. Like
Yeah.
it was like a social media platform,
Mhm.
which it is.
Mhm.
Um, and you know, if you want to get in front of the right CEOs to become angel investors or partners in your business, or get in front of the right CEOs to sell the services that you're providing for them, you're going to have to be active on social media. And it's got to be more than just static graphics of generic warehouse pictures or whatever, or a bunch of teammates in hard hats. Like, you got to sell them on why they should use you. You can't just, you got to give your sales team a little fuel. You got to give them a little pre-sale assets to these people you want to partner with and grow your business with.
Mhm.
Especially with B2B, there's so much like volume you can do because there's so many businesses out there most of the time that can use your services, and they're doing huge deals.
Yeah.
So like the more trust you could build there, the better. It's just going to look different than a B2C.
Mhm.
The strategy is going to look different than a B2C.
Yeah.
Because a B2C is obviously probably way less money per sale. You know, the consumers are a little more emotionally driven as opposed to a B2B consumer, which is they're logistically driven. Does it make sense for us? Do I like working with these people?
Yeah.
Is it going to be easy? You know, they're not spending their own money.
Mhm.
B2Bs.
Yeah.
They're spending the company's money.
Mhm.
So they're making decisions of like, if I'm going to buy something, like, is this going to get me fired?
Literally.
Yeah, that's the emotional tie, you
Mhm.
know, that they're working with. Whereas a consumer is like, if I'm going to buy this, am I going to regret it? That's ultimately what they're going to think.
Yeah.
So the strategy is different, but the principles are the same, and they should be viewed as the same.
Mhm.
Because ultimately, even if your industry does nothing for marketing, video marketing, content, whatever, they do nothing, somebody is eventually.
Yeah.
Because that's where it's headed. That's where we're headed. Somebody is eventually, and if it's not you, you're going to be in the dust.
Mhm.
You're going to be the guy that everyone forgets about.
Mhm.
So,
Crazy.
I don't know. That was a lot.
Segue. I don't know. Random thought while you were talking about like Google.
Hit me.
Like, you know how Google, you have your ads and like the sponsored stuff comes up first when you look up.
Yeah.
Like what happens when like ChatGPT like looks something up and then it like spits out sponsored stuff
Oh,
first?
bro. Wait, we gotta talk about that.
Like, I don't know why that just came up. I don't know if there's like some sort of like, hey, don't read this information. But then that seems pretty like in like tactical if they did that too, you know?
Well, okay. I'm not sure if they're actually doing this,
Hmm.
but they did hire somebody who was known for introducing sponsored ad placement in like generated content. Not like AI generated content, but I think she like led the Google AdWords.
Oh, at the conference, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, not at the conference. I just like read an article or
okay.
social media post saying that OpenAI just hired somebody that's going to introduce ads into ChatGPT. That's the gist of it. I literally know nothing else about it.
Yeah.
Don't know who she is. Don't know what the whole thing is about. But I know that, right? So OpenAI hires this person that is known for bringing ads to the companies that she gets hired onto. And now, what are you seeing? You're seeing commercials for ChatGPT. Have you seen them?
Yes, I have actually.
And they're pretty good.
No, yeah, they're great.
They make AI seem human.
Yeah, same. And then like it's just weird. Like it's just weird. And I'm just like, this is pretty interesting. And then again, like what are the ramifications? Like we talked about this last time too. Like what are the ramifications of AI? We don't even know yet because we haven't gotten there yet. And I don't think anybody can really kind of predict what's going to happen next. Like the next wave or like the next circle that it encompasses, you know?
Yeah, well, AI now, OpenAI used to be a nonprofit, now it's a for-profit.
Exactly.
And the reality of for-profits is that they're a beast that needs to satisfy the investors. And if you're not making profit, you're not winning, you're not going to get investment anymore, your company's going to fail. Mm-hmm. So it's like everyone talks about how like these CEOs are greedy and they're billionaires and blah, 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 and they're not doing this and that. No, they're just trying to literally keep the company above board. And do I agree with billionaires existing? Not in a million years. Every billionaire should be a millionaire. Like, there's no reason to be a billionaire. Give away all your freaking money.
Yeah,
However, like, if you're not trying to make the most money for your company, the way that like our society is structured, then you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
You're literally not doing the job that you were hired to do, right? So it does make sense. But if you're a nonprofit, at least there's some regulations around, you know, like
how you make money.
how you make money. Now that AI is a for-profit business and there are competitors, we're going to be seeing a lot of things that are going to be shaping the way that we think.
Mhm.
And it's going to be from a marketing standpoint. I'm not sure how I agree with it or how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But running ads, awareness ads, tells me that they want more people using ChatGPT so that they can make money off it. Because right now it's free.
Yep.
So why would
There's
you
a
be
free
running?
version.
Exactly,
Yeah.
there's a free version. You could do the paid version, but not everyone is. Not the people they're targeting in the ads.
Yeah.
Remember, these ads are literally like high school kids or college kids that are like in the kitchen making a meal, and then it zooms out and the prompt is, how can I make a meal that says I like you but more than just friends, but casual? And then it's like the recipe.
Yeah.
It's a dope ad. It's a really sick ad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, dude, like if I wasn't already using ChatGPT every single freaking day, I would be using it all the time, right? After that ad. There's another one where it's like a brother-sister road trip, and then the prompt is like, plan a spontaneous road trip that I could take with my sister. They're targeting free users. They're not targeting people that could eventually be pro users or pay users. They're targeting free users. And I think they're targeting free users so that they can start selling ad spots.
Probably.
I think the way that it's going to go, and this is just a theory, is you're going to give a prompt, and it's going to say, you're going to give a prompt, you're like, I mean, this one probably is a little bit too on the nose, but I think it'll be a little more subtle. It's like, where can I take my girlfriend out for a date night in the South Bay? And then it's going to say, great question. Here are a couple restaurants that restaurants that sponsored to be a part of this prompt. Blah 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 blah. If you're not into that, let me know a couple more options, or let me know, and I'll give you a couple more options.
Yeah.
You know.
I believe it.
So it'll just feed you the sponsored thing.
Yeah.
And then it'll give you an option to be like, here, like, you know, if that's not good enough, let me know.
Yeah, like the rub will be to get to that free option.
Yeah.
You know, to use your free option, you need to go through a few more loopholes to actually get there. But if you just want an option right now, here's the stuff that everybody paid for. You know?
Yeah.
I totally agree.
The latest grift, though, is people trying to do like AI optimization, like SEO, but for AI.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, is your business popping up in LLMs? You know, and hire us, and we're gonna do that. Which I'm like, how? You know?
Yeah, like what is this service? Like what do we do here? Like
yeah, like how? First off, how are you gonna prove it? Well, I guess you could prove it because like they have little, you know, little tokens whenever you click on. Like, have you ever clicked on a website through ChatGPT?
No.
Okay, well, if you do, and you go to the URL, you'll see like the URL and then slash blah 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 slash, and then it'll say like ChatGPT on it.
Oh,
so
okay.
that way, like your website, when
It's
it
being
gets
tracked.
traffic, it knows this is coming from ChatGPT. So there's a way to know it. Like I'm not the guy that handles this. We have a full department that handles all of the SEO, PPC, you know, technical tracking, all that stuff. I'm not that guy. I just make cool content.
Yeah.
But I know there's a way to track this, and I'm sure whatever these guys are doing to get you popping up in the LLMs is just putting your website on all the places that the LLMs scrape, like Reddit, forums, you know, just like saying like, who's the best, what's the best restaurant in the South Bay? Oh, Good Stuff's the best restaurant in the South Bay. Thanks for all the responses, but I found the answer. It's Good Stuff, you know? And then ChatGPT is going to be like, what's the best restaurant in South Bay? Looks up, what's the best restaurant in South Bay?
Yeah.
Sees the Reddit post, what's the best restaurant in the South Bay? Oh, I found the answer. It's Good Stuff. Oh, well, the answer is Good Stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, it's probably that simple. I don't know, like, if I don't know, it's that imperative.
Yeah, exactly.
To put a lot of money to hire an agency to get you popping up in LLMs.
Yeah.
I would just suggest businesses just try that and see if it works.
Might be that easy, but I have no clue.
I've been talking a ton. So, Alfred, what do you want to talk about?
What did I say in the beginning? Just like creator. Oh, like so learning how to, like, my issue with learning how to remove emotions from getting feedback
Ooh, yes.
and notes and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's what it is.
So I recently did like an edit, sent it off for feedback, and got like 16 notes on it. And obviously I felt a certain way, you know, like I spent a lot of time, I spent energy trying to do this, kind of figure it out. And then to get a lot of feedback back or notes and stuff like that is like, again, felt emotional about it because that's just your initial response. You worked on something and somebody's saying, I don't like this. And it's like, ouch, you know? And trying to remove that has always just been kind of, I've always dealt with that. Like, I think any creative can like relate to that.
Every creative.
Yeah.
Every creative, even me.
Yeah.
I still deal with that.
Exactly. So trying to deal with that. And I think at the end of the day, it's for me important to do that so it doesn't affect my day to day. You know, it's like I'm not thinking about this feedback and these notes that I got throughout the rest of my day and it affects me, and now I'm less productive the rest of my day and it's kind of like eating at me, right? So that's why like removing that emotion definitely is a huge thing that I'm working on. But I feel like there's also a way for clients and people giving feedback to actually respond and be productive and constructive, right? I think there's a correct and a wrong way, right? If you just tell me I don't like this, you know, well, what don't you like about it? What do you recommend? Like giving no creative or no like structure of how you want things. You're just telling editors or telling anybody like, I don't like X, Y, and Z. And that's it. Like there's no follow up. I think that is like the worst thing you can do, because now I'm going to take that information, go back, do something, spend more time, more energy on that, and then bring it back to you, and you still don't like it, you know?
Yeah.
So again, kind of like navigating that kind of relationship or that kind of workflow of, okay, should I ask for more feedback or more clarification on certain notes versus, you know, kind of just taking it back and doing what I think? Because obviously what I did initially wasn't what you wanted, you know?
Yeah. I think there's two things, right? I just did a video about this, which is hilarious. Did you see that?
Which one?
It was like the 3 things you should do before hiring a video production company. Or
I did see
don't
that.
make these mistakes if you're hiring it. Yeah. And it's not directly talking about this, but this is a result of a client's failure.
Yeah.
I'll talk about where the client goes wrong first, and then I'll talk about my suggestions for how to deal with this as a creative.
Okay.
So the client goes wrong because they go into a project, right? And they know that you're the expert, that you're the social media expert, and that you're the creative, and that you're the videographer that's going to do the thing, right? But they fail to do 2 things. You either, one, need to say, hey, I saw the work that you're doing, and I trust you completely because I love the vibe of this video, and this video. Here's who we are. Here's what we do. Go make something killer. You know, either do that, right? And then when you get that thing, you're only looking for technical problems. You're looking for spelling mistakes. You're looking for maybe like a color grade like mishap where it's like, oh, my skin looks pink there.
Obviously.
You know, like just obvious technical problems. And you're not looking for like specific, just stylistic choices, right? It's either that or it's, this is who we are. This is the kind of video we want to make. I want it to look like this, but I want it to go this way, this way, this way. Here's a script. Here's exactly what the mission is. This is the kind of, you know, and come to the table with a bunch of stuff that's going to set you up for the best success. And then when you deliver, you know, whatever you deliver, then the client is going to is going to have something to base it off, right? And the notes that you're getting are essentially just trying to get you to be more in line with whatever their vision is. You know, so it's not a personal attack. It's just there's a misalignment. Now, where people fail, and this is where creatives get hurt, like creators get hurt, is they have option number 2, which is a clear vision of what they want, like in their head, but they present it like option number 1. And so you pour your heart, soul, and energy into this thing that you're really proud of, but it's not what they had in their head. you know? And so they're giving you a ton of notes to change this, change that, blah, 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 right? But there's no expectation that like that was going to come.
Yeah.
You know, so you're just devastated because you're like, frick, dude, like you hired me to do this thing really well. And now it feels like I just failed on every creative choice.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not that. It's just you didn't give them what they had in their head because they never told you what was in their head, you know? And what goes wrong is that the client gets frustrated, you get frustrated, more time and energy gets poured into this thing, and what ends up happening is you get either a very vanilla end product because you're just trying to like salvage whatever was shot on the day into something that's usable, and there's no plan, no purpose, no mission, nothing going into the shoot, and so you're just trying to fix it in post pretty much. Or it just goes over budget and you're paying more and you're wasting money.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't get the result that you want.
Yeah.
You know? So the only third option that I see acceptable is a clear creative partnership between the client and the creative. And this only works if the client is actually creative. You know, not just thinks they're creative or not just kind of did a creative thing back in the day and isn't really practicing, but no, like someone who's like, we're talking like they're a creative director for the company,
Yeah.
you know, or they're like somebody who's responsible for this thing, but they're not a specialty in editing, like they do directing or producing, or they're an executive producer or whatever. They have like some sort of experience and background in creative. And the path forward is, hey, we're trying to create something that's going to do this. I don't have a reference video. I don't have a this. I don't have a that. But give me your best shot, and we're going to work on it together. You know?
Yeah.
And that would be the relationship where I feel like if we were doing this,
Yeah.
and this is kind of what I do with all my team.
I think you do this very well.
Yeah.
Like when you give notes and you give feedback, I think you do it very well.
Yeah.
And I think you like understand who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Obviously, you understand like when you talk to me, it's going to be different from somebody else. Like you understand my personality and like how I need to be talked to get through, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing. And I think that's why like the situation I'm talking about in particular is like rubbed me so wrong because the way that they spoke to me. And I'm just like the verbiage that they use in their notes, even though it might just be them giving notes, like that's just their personality.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if I necessarily like being talked to like this.
Yeah, well, it's not helpful.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I don't think their intention was to offend you.
I agree.
And I don't think their intention is to be not helpful. They just don't know. And that's why education is so important.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a collaborative effort, right? It's like I don't quite know. I'm trying to create something that like has never been created for, or maybe I'm just trying to like get the best possible result out of this. I want you to give a stab at it, and then when we watch it, I'm going to like just guide the ship into what I'm thinking after seeing what you made, you know? And it's not like, because I know this personally. If I ever give something to somebody, it's like, this is the best thing that I could have done. You know, I'm not half pooping it, you know? Like I'm giving you the product that I think is ready to take your business to the next level.
Yeah.
Right. And so if I ever get a revision, it's like, you're either telling me A, you don't trust me, or B, this is not good enough. Right. Or C, you're saying, oh, you kind of like, you know, you kind of like mailed it in on this one. I need better. Right. And sometimes I feel like people do that. And I could tell when someone mails it in. And usually it's not their fault. Like they probably are trying to stay on a budget and they're trying not to spend too much time on it to make
sense.
it, you know. But like most of the time, if I'm giving something to someone, I'm not mailing it in. Like this is like it, right? So I get really offended. And I think advice I'd want to give you and any creative watching this or hearing this is that you can't make being a creator your life.
Yeah.
Your number one thing, your identity, right? Because if you do, you're going to be disappointed and you're going to fail way more than you're going to succeed. And that's just a miserable life to live.
Yeah.
You know? One of my buddies, his name's Reese. He just posted a carousel and it was so beautifully crafted. And I recommend everybody to go to his profile and give him a follow if you're a creative, because he is absolute mastermind when it comes to this kind of stuff. He was saying, if you're doing one thing, you're like most people who get into the creative field, they think about this. If you were going to get paid an immense amount of money to do one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? And that's how you choose what you want to do, right? But that's just not a reality, because it's like, even if I gave you $1 million and I said, "Hey, Alfred, what do you want to do?" You know, like it doesn't mean you're going to do it good.
Yeah.
Whatever that is,
Uh-huh.
you know? So he said, instead of that, reframe it like this. If you're going to be mediocre, if not horrible at one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? Because if you're okay with being mediocre to horrible at one thing for the rest of your life, it means you're not doing it because you want to do something good.
Yeah.
You're doing it because you freaking love doing whatever that thing is.
Exactly.
Right? So like for me, the way that I would see it is, if you're doing like an edit or you're doing a deliverable and you put your heart, soul, and energy into it, right, and you get feedback, you should see that feedback as like, this is an opportunity for me to get better at this one thing.
Yeah.
Because an outside perspective or somebody else like gave me this idea or suggestion that could enhance this project. No one's giving you notes because they want it to be worse. Now, there is a thing, and this is a whole nother rabbit hole, where you could have a client that just has bad taste.
Yeah.
Like they're just like they're missing the mark, right? And you have to have a serious conversation with them and say like, "Hey, like, you're hiring me as the expert here, and I'm telling you, I feel really, really confident that this is going to work for you. But if you still don't disagree with me, I'm more than happy to make the change. I just want to let you know as the expert that you hired, you know?" And then you let them do it, right? So that way, if you make the change for them and they post it and it doesn't do well and they're complaining, you're like, "Hey, dude, like I literally told you," you know? I mean, that happened with another client of ours one time for a social media post. They were complaining about an idea that we did that we wanted to do. And I had that hard conversation, being like, "You hired us to be the experts here. Like, let us do this." It got 1 million views.
Nice.
1 million views.
Yeah.
They only have like 2,000 followers, and it got 1 million views. That one video that they're pushing back on, and they trusted us, and we got them 1 million views on it. So, you know, like, that is the very nuanced and complex response to creator, call it creator idolatry.
Yeah.
Where you're making being a creator the number one idol in your life. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that?
I mean, it makes sense. I think I was on that same thought process as well. It's like, okay, use this as like, take accountability, use this as a process to be like, okay, this is going to make me better at the end of the day. And I think that was, okay, forefront. It's like, felt this emotion. Hey, calm down. What do we get out of it? This is going to make us better at the end of the day. It's like, okay, cool. And then again, being more like, go down the rabbit hole, see what they were actually saying and blah, blah, blah. And then I came to the agreement where it's like, the stuff that they're saying isn't helpful at all. And it's just like, that's not a knock on the client. That's not a knock on me as an editor or anything. It's just like, hey, what you're saying isn't helpful to get to what you want to do.
Exactly.
So it's like, so let's like go through that conversation. It's like, hey, can you give me clarification on X, Y, Z? Like multiple times in the notes, it was just like, hate this music. This music's horrible. Like 4 or 5 times that same, just like, music's horrible here. Music's bad here. Hate it. Like, and I was just like, okay, that's not helpful. Like, I get it. I understand you don't like the music.
Yeah.
Message received.
Message received.
I get it. Okay.
How do we move forward?
Exactly. But it's just like, you just can't tell me, it's like, get different music. And it's like, okay. So now my response is like, hey, let me pick out a few songs, send it to you. Tell me which one you like.
Let me read your mind.
Exactly.
And figure out what you, okay, stand still. Okay, cool. I know what music now.
Baby Shark. But yeah, so it's like, okay, like, and I don't necessarily know if this client is going to be receptive of that or not, you know? So it's like, okay, there's some like uncertainty and some like the stress in the backhand or like potential confrontation. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, this is what I need to do my job. So let's figure it out. And then on top of that, it's like, okay, comparing it to, again, the second time in the notes, it's like, now there's references, hey, make it like this, make it like these videos here, you know? And it, again, the way it read me was, you should do your job and go watch these videos because this is what it's supposed to be. This is what's current and doing good right now. So you should know this as an editor. And I'm just like, again, I don't know if I like being talked to like that way.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, it just felt demeaning, but again, it's just words on a screen. So again, giving the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have a boundary.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
If you're gonna be disrespected, then maybe
Yeah,
that's not someone you work with.
exactly.
But at the end of the day, I would always give somebody the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Like maybe they don't understand what they're actually saying,
Mm.
and I'd always hop on a call if it ever gets to that point, so that we
a
can
good idea.
actually talk through it,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like, hey, are you really pissed at me that
Yeah.
I couldn't read your mind on exactly what you want? Like,
Yeah.
When we started working together, what were the expectations? Was the expectation that I would know exactly what to do for your business? Because you laid it out in this way, or was the expectation was you hired me because you saw my aesthetic, you saw my vibe, you saw what I was good at, and that's exactly what I gave you, you know? And now you're frustrated that like I wasn't matching sort of like what I brought to the table with what your company's bringing to the table.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even make it like, that's a little accusatory, but like,
Yeah.
I would just try to just get an alignment. Like, look, it's no big deal. We had one miss edit. Like, let's just try to solve it.
Yeah.
I could be adjustable. Like, I could give you that. I didn't realize that's what you wanted, but thank you for telling me now.
Yeah.
And we can move past it. But if he's still just being, he or she, whatever, if they're still being like, oh yeah, like this sucks, like, I can't believe I spent the money on it, like I don't even know what to do right now. You just be like, here are the assets, sorry it didn't work out, good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I think after the expectation or the reference videos that they gave me after our V1 was done, it was like, okay, these are the reference videos, and it's like, I want it to look like this, or you should go watch these and make it like this because this is what it's supposed to be. It's like, okay, why didn't you give me that in the beginning?
Yeah, no, but you can't.
I know I can't come at that like that. But
no, I'm saying is like you can't like let that weigh you down.
No, yeah.
Like what needs to happen is for clients need to know that they need to come in with the reference videos. Duh.
Exactly.
Right, but like, he made a mistake as well, or she made a mistake as well.
Yeah.
And that, like, hopefully in the future, you guys continue working together. They're gonna know, like, I need to give Alfred a reference video if I have a very clear vision of what I want this to be. And honestly, you just kind of count that as a learning lesson on how you deal with them.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even do an edit for them unless they give you a reference video from now on.
Yeah.
Because your time's valuable.
Yeah.
You have to do a whole re-edit because they
Exactly.
never got you a reference video.
And but also with that conversation as well, it's like, okay, you're giving me examples that are highly produced. Like they have 4 to 5 angles, which they give me 3 angles, right? Which is fine. But each angle has a camera operator. And I'm sure if they're spending that much money on this produced of a set, they're spending that much money on the post-production as well. Yeah. So it's like, okay, I quoted you this. This isn't what it's turning out to be. So it's like, that's the next conversation after that. It's like, okay, you want this end product, but are you willing to pay for that end product?
I'm going to drop another name again. Same name, Reese.
Yeah.
Definitely give him a follow and watch his content. Have you ever worked with the project of me and Reese before? No. Okay. But there's a lot of power in just saying no.
Yeah.
Because ultimately what happens is like we become starving artists, right? Sometimes we have that mentality where it's like, oh, shoot, like, I want to do this and I want to make him happy. I want to keep him happy and blah, blah, blah. And if I lose him, then I won't have any more work anymore. Which is why you're a creator, right? But you're also a CEO. You're also a business owner. Which is why it's very important for you to continue putting yourself out there and trying to drive in clients. Because I could bring you work, but, like at this very moment, you're not employed by Clear Sky.
Yeah.
We're partners.
Yeah.
We help each other. I feed you work exclusively in particular roles and positions, but like there's an onus to go out and make sure that your lead pipeline is full because you need that leverage and that power to say, hey dude, like, I can't deliver what you're asking for because it's literally not possible. Good luck. Here are the source files. Go find someone else to do it. And what's going to happen is he's not going to be able to find him. Yeah. That's what comes with like maturity in this business, is that like when people are asking way too much of you, you need to have like the knowledge and understanding that this is literally just not possible. Like he's not going to find the solution anymore. And what's going to happen is he's going to try to find a solution that's going to give him that result. And maybe he gets lucky. Maybe he finds the 1 in a million person that is desperate enough for work to want to work with him, and they nail it, right? But more likely than not, he's not going to find that person, and he's going to come back and he's going to be like, "Yo, dude, can you just bring this home for me? I can't spend all this time finding someone else."
Yeah.
And then now you got leverage. You'd be like, "Yeah, well, if you want it to be this highly produced, I need 3 times more hours because I need to spend way more time on this.
Yeah.
Or I need to bring in a colorist, and I need to bring in a sound, sound mixer.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you have leverage, and then it's like, like, this is the new cost of engagement. If you want me to bring this home, and you really want it to look like this, and 2 things are going to happen. One is going to be like, yeah, let's do it, and then you're going to bring in those people because once you have the client, it's pretty hard to, or it's pretty easy to find the talent to come in and execute, especially if there's a fixed budget. Or the second thing is he's going to say, oh, you know what? Never mind. It doesn't have to be that highly produced. I just need something that's going to work. And then boom, now we're back to square one, which is exactly, where you were the entire time, which is like, we want to make this look as good as possible with the limited budget we have. And we know that even though these 3 to 4 examples are not on the same level when it comes to quality, production quality, they are good references for style and storytelling and strategy. So that's kind of like the full circle effect. The only time you get screwed or that you get pinned in a corner is if there's somebody else out there that can do better job at a better price or at a better value. And that's why you always want to be just super competitive when it comes to just improving yourself, figuring out ways to, make yourself irreplaceable, or just funneling into like something that is really hard to find. That's why I was like suggesting Blender.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just really hard to find a Blender guy.
Yeah, because it's really, really hard.
Yeah. Yep. How do you feel though about all that?
I'm good. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. like I said, like I felt like I was already on the right path. I just needed to like kind of talk it out and like literally just say it out loud, So that was the only thing that I felt.
Let's wrap it up, dude. I think we had a really good conversation.
I agree.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I'm surprised that this card survived because we're on the cusp.
Oh, really?
Of what's allotted in there. Did you check the card file or?
Well, we usually only pod for an hour, so I think it said like an hour and a half. So that's why I was like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
That card is fine. But
yeah. Funny.
Well.
Yeah, dude, it was a good time.
Sick.
It was a good time. All right. Well, how do we end these again? I can't remember.
Or just close it out.
Just close it out. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you learned something, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.